Alright, for the next video, what we'll be doing is we'll be spending our time with the cylinder, and we'll be making the thickness of the cylinder as well as the inner bit that holds the two sides together for probably for more durability or so. But so let's start with the shape that we have. Let's just ensure that we have it properly aligned with the model's shape. So I'm going to go to pink work, and I'm just going to go to the material and again to that second tab and the transparency amount, just drag it up. Let's have something to like that, and space to have it dropped. So we're a little bit off. I think that little bit of a difference is going to make the original lighter, although not very modeled in lots of detail, the dimensions and the aspects and so on of it is spot on with these disposable lighter units. So I'm going to stick with it to remain to as close as the truth. I'm going to bring that down a bit as well. Okay. So that's from the side, we're happy, and from the front, I'll just make sure as well. So I think for this, just for a second, we can bring this whole thing over and just zoom in. Pretty much a little bit bigger than we want to be. So I'm just dragging it, these points in. This is why keeping as few as possible points on a mesh item while you're still shaping out the bigger shape that you want to accomplish is vital. Don't waste your time and start with detailing before you have ensured that the basic structure of the box that you start with has got the shape that you want, because moving all those points at the end to get to the shape that you actually wanted is tedious, to say the least. So we're just going to take this, and to ensure that we place it properly. Oh, come on, you swine. Just look at it from the top view, scroll in, zoom in. It's not perfect for this bit, but this bit we're going to scale and fit in and hone into its place where it needs to be. Alright, so one mistake that this thing had, as I said in the beginning, is that this middle bit should only go up to about there. Now I've got one of these lighters with me, and I'm measuring the distance as we speak now, and from where the bottom of this black a different type of polymer is, it's exactly, it's at 12 millimeters, and from where it begins is about 50 millimeters. So we should go in, I'm not going to make this spot on, we should go in and have that bit about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of all these polygons, double click any one of them, press Ctrl C, and add a new mesh item. Ctrl V to paste those polygons in. Now with R selected or scale, go to the top view, press Shift and A to zoom into that, and I don't really know. Okay, what I did wrong Just make sure. Okay, what I did wrong was I should have done that, but this should have been a hollow sleeve. Oh, it is a hollow sleeve. Okay. So we embarrass ourselves. Control C, Control V, and now I'm flipping them to face the inside. And I'm scaling that more or less to be the... this might seem confusing, but it's because there's a slant running down towards the bottom that it looks like we've got a bunch of faces selected at the top, but we don't. See, that bit would be the inside now. So if we smooth this guy by pressing tab, and we smooth that guy by pressing tab, we should have that shape, the two same shapes. So we're going to have to split these faces to get the same degree of a roundness around the back of this, as well as the front, which we want to have the same, the back and the front the same. So I'll start by selecting the outer bit of the cylinder. It's remember, this is two different items. That's the one item with this is the, oh come on, it's this recording software that's messing me around. So we've got that one item where the outward facing polygons are on. Then we selected all of those, we copied them into a new layer, and we scaled them down a bit, and we flipped them to face the inside, which is this one. So now I'm going to look at the right perspective, and where we need to place those lines to have the, let me just go back here, go back to this and press on your tab key to remove the smoothing of it, and bring this guy down and bring it in so that it matches your new cylinder. So we need to cut this cylinder along that line there to get the same roundness at the back. So edge, add loop tool, and just drop it in there. Left, add loop tool, and same, it's more or less, oh no man. I'm just going to match it. I'm going to actually, I'm going to put that guy off just for a second. See, we've got this side sliced according to that line there. Now we need to slice that guy. So we need to look from the left side. So there. So now when we smooth this, we've got a roundness that looks a little bit awkward, but it's because we it's this side is fooling your eye. If you close with your hand the front side, you would see that the back side looks more or less like this guy. Let's go to we are in perspective. You see. So we need to do the same for the inside. So just select the inside guy. Remove all of these smoothers. I'm actually going to unnest those. They were nested. So select that. Right. So we are actually actually, we are going to have to do this one live, because I'm not exactly sure where that guy needs to go into. So for this guy, you the outside mesh, we smooth that. Then we go to this dude and we smooth him as well, and I add a loop, and as I add this loop I can see more or less what it is going to do in this corner. So there and there. So there we go. And now for the front bit. It should be obvious that I'm going to add the loop more or less the same distance than I have there. So let's do this and just eyeball it like so, because we're going to extrude the switch part of it, of the lighter, the part that you switch with your thumb. We're going to extrude from this so it'll match perfectly. And I actually just want to grab this inside guy and smooth it from the top, and just ensure that I've got these guys at an average. So I'll be scaling them all until they are more or less where they need to be. And I think I'm gonna let me just see. So let's select the outside guy, go to the top again, and press tab to smoothen that out, and we select these this one and those four vertices, and let's just see, select those. I want that space to stay the same all throughout, something like that. Okay. So now we also need to add those lines there to make the roundness of the front side sharper. So select that guy, add loop, more or less, or exactly as close as you can, that space there to there. All right. So something like that, and something like that, and again I'll press 1 and select those 4, press R and scale them so that they are on a lacquer line. So smooth, and now we've got the shape for the cylinders outside. I'm going to be selecting these two and Shift H to hide everything else. So now what we need to do is we need to add the geometry and join vertices here in the middle to get that other bit going, and it's pretty easy with Modo. So I'm going to add a loop and both sides. So then we've got this thing going. So let's say 60. Let's make it. I'd say 65%. So then we've got that thickness, and Shift, and the same on this one. So 65 removed, it's going to be 35. 35 removed from 100, it's the inverse, so from 100%. Okay. Now I'm going to add a line around where that inner bit stops. So not both. Just remember to deselect at both sides. So I said more or less there. Oh my word. More or less there. I'm not going to nitpick the area, so we accept it as there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge these two faces to join that area. So select those two polygons, go to polygon, bridge, and just click on them. Now we've got that bit on the inside. Okay. This looks, it looks as if it's hollow through there, but it's not going to appear that way when we apply the correct shaders on this thing. But now we also need to apply more lines to this to keep the sharpness of the corners of this piece of plastic on the inside. So use the edge, the add loop tool, put like to there. And to the bottom of it. You can add to the sides and in the middle of this. It won't influence the because it's on a plane or area. That area of the lighter is flat. It's not gonna bug. For the cylinder part, we will have to do 2 videos. I don't want to go much further than a quarter of an hour per video. So we'll just carry on exactly where we left off in the next video.